You're watching Unrendered on IKTV. I am Tony Regisford, and my guest is Trish St Hill. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at iConcepts. Trish, we're talking about Felicia Francois, who is your Garifuna character in the novel Beneath the Golden Mango Tree.
Yep.
And this is your first novel. So you're saying one of the defining moments in her her life really, having immigrated to the United States, is that she gets introduced to the Garifuna culture. She meets people and she starts to understand about the dance, the drumming, the language, and stuff like that. Now, how did that change her then?
How did that change her? Well, it's very much like me, coming from St. Vincent and just thinking you're an African girl. Nothing wrong with being African. I'm very proud of my Africanness.
Of course.
And trade this beautiful black complexion for anything in the world.
Right.
But you think you have a true sense of who you are, and then you find out that there's a other piece to you that was totally foreign to you, absent from your life. And you wonder, just like I've wondered, she wonders, what would her life would have been like had she grew up and had all these pieces of her together. So she became very much of a cultural activist. And some would say that that's what I've become.
Yes. So you're flirting with this autobiographical.
Yeah.
It's not quite
It's
that.
not quite that, but it's sort of that, yeah.
You didn't set out to do that, but you are, you're meandering along with it.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And so her life took on, like I said, that of a cultural activist. And I think that dictated much of what she's done or went on to do in her life and the experiences that she's had.
You keep mentioning about the other character in the book who, as we said earlier on, might have been your alter ego, the Trinidadian compatriot.
Yeah, Gloria. Love her.
Gloria. Now, did Gloria have a similar journey in the novel, or because she's not Vincentian, she doesn't have that Garifuna heritage? How
doesn't she?
Well, did you answer that question in the novel? Is it explored?
I would answer it, but I can't tell it because that's going to take away from the fun part of it. Her life is very similar. When you look at Gloria and Felicia, they're like two opposites. But when it comes right down to the end of it, there's such a similarity there. I can't give it too much of the information away.
Yes, of course.
But,
we need people to read the book.
Yes. And so in many ways, I think, yes, she's not a cultural activist per se, but she came to find out certain things about her culture and about her life.
So she was on that discovery path as well.
As well, yes.
So essentially, Beneath the Golden Mango Tree is a book about these two ladies.
Well, it's actually three, but the other one is a more minor character. There are three girls, and basically they're going from, two of them are from St. Vincent. One is a cousin of Felicia's, her name is Carol, and then there's Gloria, who's a Trinidadian, who they happened upon each other as they were working as domestics at homes in the United States. And they became friends. And most people would look at them and say, well, they're not even alike. Why would you be friends with somebody? The girl has a foul mouth, she talked like a sailor, but Felicia always saw the good in Gloria, and really came to realize that she was really a loyal friend, and not what it on the outside, what it looks like on the outside as far as her character.
Yes,
it's not really who she was on the inside. So she, really maintained that friendship with her, and we'll find out later on who they really were to each other, and so. Don't let your mind go all over the place with that, but you'll find out later who they really were to each other. And so, I think it'd give it good balance. So these three girls are taking New York by storm.
Right.
As immigrant girls, Carol has been there longer than these other two, and she would kind of take them under her wings, take them partying and this kind of stuff. And Felicia's torn between being the good girl, level-headed, and Mommy Zillin say, girl, pray to the Lord, and be careful, listen to your auntie, don't, and a typical type of Vincentian parent.
What are the sad elements of this book?
The sad elements are, I remember...
And you notice I'm assuming that they are.
Well, there are many sad. This is the thing about this book. It will take you up here and joyfully, and then it will take you down to the valley of sadness. And I remember, for instance, there was one part of the book where, as she was leaving, her father she saw her father wept for the first time.
She never saw that in her life.
And I'd never seen my father wept, and I saw tears in his eyes when I was getting ready to, I was actually getting a ride into Kingston so I could stay with my cousin to leave for New York. I remember seeing my dad, who was a tough man.
Of course, the West Indian man is almost like that still today, where they put up this facade that crying is, well, it's letting down the gender.
Right.
We're not supposed to show
cry.
that sentimental side of us.
Yes.
What do you think about that, though?
I don't think it's good, though. You see, like me, I'll drop a cry if I have to.
Most women
and then
do.
I'm fine. And we are lucky in a sense that as women that we allowed that.
Yes.
Because I can't imagine what it will feel like to just have to bottle things out.
Yes, yes.
And that must be a torture. For me, who can't hold my emotions in check, my kids would be forced to say, Ma, your mouth have no brakes. And not in a vulgar way, but just, I don't hold back if I want to say something. And what my daughter, who is the attorney, she's an attorney, and so she's learned how to be diplomatic. And she's teaching me, Ma, you have to learn to be more diplomatic. You don't have to say everything exactly how you feel it.
Right.
You know, so it's the child is teaching the parent, so to speak. But I think as a woman, I am very fortunate, or we are very fortunate as women, that we're allowed to show our emotions and not be seen as a weakness.
So let me ask you, in your research, and we're talking about this point here about men showing their emotions or not showing their emotions. And with your research with the Garifuna culture, do you think it existed there, or it was the social conditioning henceforth from when the Garifuna got infiltrated, as it were?
Do I think...
Fractured up. Do you think that the modern West Indian man who does not necessarily show his emotions, as certainly not as readily as women, right? Do you think that is a legacy of the Garifuna culture, or is it something else?
I don't think it's just a Garifuna. I think that's men universally, because men were always groomed as the provider, the person who have to be tough and protect and that sort of thing. Even though we see that more and more women are heading households, I'm a single mom. I've had a very busy career. My job is as a troubleshooter. I had a department of about 27, including my secretary, probably 27 people.
Right.
And I have to make tough decisions.
Yes.
There are major partners who don't want to hear that system is down, and they have a conference room full of clients. So I had to get tough as nails. But you still have to tender it, because as a woman, you don't want to come across as kind of mannish.
Yes.
You still want to hold that feminine side of you.
Yes.
So I could drop a flirt.
The nurturing side.
Yeah, the nurturing side and the flirt. You have to be able to and smile and still be feminine. You don't want to lose the feminine edge, but I am allowed to be tough to a certain extent.
Yes.
But then and be able to take care of myself and my family. But at the same time, I have to be that I have that privilege of crying if I have to.
Yes.
Nobody would say, "Oh my God, she cried." If something sad happened when I cried, nobody's going to hold it against me. They'll probably say, "Oh, that was very touching."
Right.
If you cried, oh my God, what a wuss.
What a wimp.
Yeah.
Now, tell me something, Trish, about your first novel. It's now published. I am assuming it's available in the bookstores down here.
Yes.
Is it on Kindle as well?
It's on Kindle. It's on Amazon. It's also available on my website.
Right.
www.trishsthill.com.
Yes.
You can get it on that website. But here in St. it's probably cheaper, because by the time you pay for it in US dollars, I usually sell it discounted here.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so you go to Games Bookstore, Teachers Credit Union Bookstore, Jujubee, places like that.
So it's on the shelves. Is it doing well?
It's doing very well. I would say that I'm now the executive, in addition to everything else I'm doing, I'm the executive producer for an organization called Yuga Cure, which is Yurume Garifuna Cultural Retrieval. And for the last 4 years, we've been coming here with a workshop to bring back, retrieve the indigenous culture of the Garifuna people to St. Vincent. That has taken me off track a little bit. Not like stopped my writing career, because I just came out with my third novel called Tears of Exile, and it's about to be published in September.
Right.
But I used to do a lot of book signings. I was all over the place. I would travel to Central America. I'll go to Europe. I had to, as now facing being a single mother, I've had to make decisions to force be a mom, and a provider.
Yes.
And my little boy means everything to me. So I had to make sure that, you know, I'm there to do homework, pick him up from school, cook dinner, make sure he eats and things like that. And when he's older, perhaps, mom is kind of bored. Mom might want to then go do a lot of book signing. Now I limit my book signing. And the book is well known enough where I don't have to be out there promoting it every 2 minutes.
You're talking about the first one?
The first book.
Let's talk a bit about the second novel.
Okay.
Because that's also published.
Right. And it's a trilogy. So it's the same characters.
Right.
But some nuance may pop up. And now Felicia is a most seasoned woman.
What's it called?
It's called Beyond the Mango Shade.
Beyond the Mango Shade.
And I wish I had brought copies with me into the studio, but
yes, that's fair enough.
But anyway, in this second novel, she's now coming into more. Her first husband has passed away. She's more of a woman who kind of knows what she wants.
Right.
And she is venturing into a romance, and with that comes certain boldness and complication. but aside of her that I kind of like, because she's not this goody two-shoes anymore.
Right.
She's not the foul-mouthed Gloria. She never would be that. But she's more into what she wants as a woman. And so we see that side of her. And she also, the book also takes the opportunity to delve more heavily into the Garifuna culture.
Right.
That is the point where we see her being a full cultural activist and really promoting Garifuna in St. Vincent, you know, encouraging her children, very much like me. My son loved to drum.
I was going to ask the question now, is that character still flirting with your autobiography?
She still does.
Is it still you, basically?
It's still parts of me. Like she is, like very much like me, I encourage my children to learn Garifuna language. I'm not saying they're fluent in it.
Yes.
But then if I say Buiti Binafi, they know I mean good morning.
Okay.
Ida Biangi, how are you?
Right.
Sarah May, thank you. They know the basics of it. My son loves to drum, and you know they support me in whatever I do. My children would love to just be home in America, you know, eating ice cream and doing what have you. But they come with me to St. Vincent because I told them, I said, you know, one of these days you're going to remember. And my grandson, I have a son and grandson that are almost the same age.
Right.
So my grandson and my son, I tell them, this would be my legacy. I don't want money. I'm not worried about if people say good or bad about me, but I want you guys to remember these trips. I looked at them as I was coming here, and we were in Barbados, and I got very emotional. And my son said, Mom, you okay? And I said, yes. I said, one day I will be a memory. And she said, oh my God, Mom, don't say that. I said, no, I'm not. I'm too stubborn. I'm not planning to go anywhere soon.
Yes, yes.
I said, but one day I will be a memory.
It's going to happen, yes.
And I said, I want you children to remember these trips. I want you to remember what I was trying to do here. And I want you to, in some way, keep it alive. Don't let it be in vain, you know?
So let's talk specifically to that. What is Trish trying to do? And as I get to this juncture, my producer is telling me at the end of this segment. So I guess this is a precursor question to the next segment of the program. Okay. When we come back from the break, I'm going to investigate your mission here.
Thank you.
When we come back. This is Unrendered on IKTV. More with Trish St Hill when we come back from the break.